All right. Yeah. No, this V-cut is the bomb.
No, the V-cut's my favorite.
Well, who? Oh, it was Jake. He's like, that's the coolest fucking lighter I've ever seen.
Well, this might not be the coolest lighter I've ever seen, but this is the coolest podcast I've ever seen. This is a what you think. We are doing a special today. We are here with, actually, we're smoking cigars right now, so we need the lighter. I'm joined today with my very special co-host, Josh Quinn.
Hey, what's up? Coming to you live from home.
We're in Gratiot, Wisconsin. We got Isaac Sagafis. He's lighting a cigar right now, almost lighting the mic on fire.
Puff, Isaac. Puff like your life depends on it.
And we have a very special guest who will introduce himself as who he wants to introduce himself as.
What's he going as?
Tyler and Josh's dad, Tom.
Oh, shit, we got Tom Quinn here tonight. This is a very special episode that will air the second Sunday after opening weekend. You know, a lot of people call it deer camp. We call it beer camp. We're drinking a lot of Pecatonica beer.
Is it not the Sunday of opening weekend?
It is the Sunday of opening weekend. That's true. So all you German listeners out there, we know there's 5 of you. You can listen to this, I guess, on Sunday. So
tell them we're smoking. Tell them what we're drinking. Baby.
Oh, we are smoking some nice Upsetters Django's right now. If you haven't smoked some cigars, this is the first podcast where we smoke cigars on it. And we are drinking some very fancy Pecatonica Muscle Lager Light.
We got some Corbel, and we got some
beer.
We got some Crown here,
Crown
too.
Blackberry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We're nice and toasty. We're at the Pecatonica Tap House down in Warren, Illinois tonight. Before we started this podcast, it's about 2 minutes in, so I'm sure you guys want to hear some spooky, want to hear some scary. Isaac already pooped his pants already, so I guess, Dad, Tom, take her away.
All right, guys.
Yeah, what do you got for us first, Tom?
Sit around, you little bastards.
I'm sitting.
We're already sitting.
Is this a Sasquatch story? So, you know, I've been telling these guys for years that there's been a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. It's on the edge. Some people see it.
Let's be real quick.
Some people don't.
He's not telling you guys. He's telling his sons. Isaac has not heard any of the shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like the rest of you people. This is new to me, so this is going to be a new story for Isaac.
To put this into a frame of reference for all of our listeners out there, this is a multi-generational paranormal podcast.
Right. This is going to be new. This is going to be really good. I'm very excited. Go ahead.
So we're gonna start out tonight with a cool story about Tomahawk, Wisconsin.
Tomahawk, Wisconsin. You mean from the Supernatural show?
No, not the one with the weird goat person in the butcher shop.
How are you guys affiliated with Tomahawk? You guys got like a cabin up there or something? Or what are you talking about Tomahawk for?
I call it a home on the lake.
So,
tell me, have you been to Tomahawk?
I have been to Tomahawk.
Josh?
Yes, I actually, when I was a wee lad, I helped my dad build or renovate.
Renovate.
You've
been up there that long?
We started out with a crack house. It was painted purple.
And we turned it into a crack home.
A crack home.
So
we flipped that, got a few dimes. We bought a nice house up on Lake Nokomis. But this is a story about the time at the crack house. No.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Crack home.
Crack home. So we're hanging out there one night. And Tomahawk, Wisconsin, nice town, very tourist town, where they have a lot of people coming up in the summertime, and they entertain everybody with a water ski show down on the river, and everybody, you know, everybody goes down and sees that. It's awesome.
It's not Tommy Bartlett from the Dells. It's a different thing.
No, it's local guys. So, the one guy was my real estate agent. He's a fucking cool dude. So, and his kids are in it, and you know, it's a really cool thing.
So it's a family affair.
Yeah. So the water ski show, it's a national team, and basically all of their practices they publicize, and every Friday night.
All right, Josh, I'm going to stop you right there. We are not a water skiing podcast. We're a paranormal podcast. So where are you going with this?
All right, I'm getting to the point here. I was trying to get to the point.
No, I'm trying to set how many people actually show up to this thing.
Okay.
No, but this wasn't, and you know, actually I was way off.
Carry on, Tom.
This wasn't the water show or the water ski show night. It was
Music on the river.
Music on the river.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, shit. Do I have a button for that?
So-
I'm not going to press him. I'm not going to press him.
So we had a house right up from Veterans Park, right on the river in Tomahawk. And every Wednesday night in the summertime, they have a band down there. And they have really cool bands down there. And there's a lot of people from all over the Midwest that go up there and they vacation in Tomahawk. And on Wednesday night, it's like, oh, nobody will be out. Fuck that. And in the summertime, there's a ton of people out. And they hang out down by the river and listen to a band. You know, you put your chair down there. It's great. So, you know, that morning I went down, put my chair down by the lake, or my 3-4 chairs. And my wife and I, Julie, we were down there. We watched the band for a while. I was like, yeah, this is all right, but you know, this is cool.
It wasn't no where's the key.
Yeah, it wasn't where's the key. It wasn't.
There was no Georgia satellites.
But you know, we had a good time, and we walked a half a block from the river up to our house, and we sat there. We had dinner, and this is a normal night, you know. And to be honest with you, maybe 1 or 2 beers. I mean, this ain't like a crazy night or nothing.
So it's not like tonight.
No. We
1 or 2 beers is
worked it up for a while. Got a Jangle cigar in my mouth right
Heck
now.
yeah.
No.
Some nice Pecatonica beer as well.
No, 1 or 2 beers is just a Wisconsin lunch.
So we're sitting there minding our own business. I'm actually sitting in my easy chair watching the news, you know, just sitting there watching the news. And my Josh and Tyler's mom is she's washing the dishes, and the window faces the river. And we're like, there's one house between us and the river. And she's like, and I hear this noise. Before she says anything, I hear this noise. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I hear this noise, and it's so loud. It's louder than any concert I've ever been to. It's like the pterodactyl from Scooby-Doo.
Like a screech?
It was, I can make
Like-
the noise. It was like, ah! It was like the worst thing.
What the?
I'm like,
is
ear
this the
splitting.
X-Files? Is this the X-Files?
No. Isaac,
you're-
you know,
you're
my
creeping
sons have heard this story 100 times, but Isaac never heard this.
No, I don't like this
So-
already. I'm not.
And look at me, dude. This happened.
No, I believe
So
that.
I'm sitting there and I hear this. I'm like, what the, you know, trying to turn up, channel 12 out of Rhinelander and listen to the news a little louder. And I keep hearing this noise. And then Julie goes, Tom, there's something going on. I'm like, what? She's like, there's something going on. And I'm like, there's people running up the street. And I look out my side window in our living room, and there's people running for their lives.
Like in terror.
Running. It's the only time I've ever seen in my life. There was people running for their life.
Like mass hysteria.
Yes. And I seriously thought, okay, it's a terrorist attack. Some fucking asshole decided to take out a little
Bring
Midwest
a gun
town
or some shit. Yeah.
festival, that we have up there. And there's this noise. So I take Julie, these guys' mom, took her to the door. I'm like, we're looking out. Everybody's running, and everybody's looking in the air. And I don't know what it is. So we go out and we look, and we see what we see. And I don't care if you believe me or not, but there's 2 man bats. Is the only way I can explain it.
All right.
Man bats.
So,
Man bats.
Dad,
Yeah.
first rule is everybody who is listening to this podcast is a believer. So just tell them exactly what you saw.
From here on out, I'll tell you exactly what I saw.
Don't assume anybody's not believing you or anything else. Just tell them exactly what you saw.
So there's these 2 man bats in the sky, and they look like gargoyles, and they're probably 150 feet above us. I figure they're like twice as high in the air as our tallest silo at home.
Yep.
And they're up there, and they're fighting face to face in the air. And, and these things, they look like they're like gray looking humans, and they had wings, and they're fighting face to face.
So when you say gargoyles, are their arms part of their wings?
Yeah.
Or do they have like little man hands and then wings on their back?
You know what? I know you guys ask me that all the fucking time.
Well,
But at the time, I didn't fucking care.
okay, but
They had hands. They actually had hands, and they're pushing against each other, and they had their wings behind us.
What about the
Behind them,
legs?
I don't know if there were. I say there were like gargoyles, but they could have been.
What about the legs, Tom? Were they separate too?
Oh, they look like it.
Like their legs were just straight up legs?
They look like a gray human with wings.
So the legs were completely separate from the wings.
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
were like naked.
Yeah.
Essentially.
yeah, they're gray.
naked 3
Don't talk about their peckers, Isaac. I know you're gonna ask that
How
question.
big of wieners did they have?
I didn't see any junk.
You should have looked.
You know what?
You should have
Isaac,
fucking looked.
you had bigger junk than the bat people.
Seriously,
I did.
I thought it was a man. I thought it was a female and a male, one of them, and it was fucking moving day. That's what
Just arguing.
that's what it looked like.
Oh man, we
And
just
they were
showed up
face
in
to
this
face.
fucking dimension. God damn it!
They were face to face, and they were fighting in the sky, and there was people running. There was usually 1,500 people down there, and the fucking place just vacated.
Scattered.
And 2 of the Tomahawk cops went by, and I know these guys. I was like, hey, what the fuck? Can we shoot at these things? And they're like, no. I was like, you better get inside, is what they told me. And I'm like, you come on out here. I wasn't scared of them. I don't know why, but I wasn't scared of them. And we're sitting there in our yard, and after a while, I got cocky, and these things are up there. They're screaming, they're fighting face to face, and I did this. Isaac, can you
Describe what
I'm doing right now?
Yep.
So I lean back and I put my hands together and I scream up to the sky. I'm like, hey, fuckers. Yeah, you. And I yell up at these things that are fighting. And the one looks down at me. The one on the left-hand side, the bigger one, looks down at me. And they keep doing their fucking thing in the sky, literally right above our house, 150 feet up. And then I'm like, yeah, you fucker. And I point at him, and he dives.
Towards you?
He dives straight at Mom and I.
So,
And you said like under the tree,
Did you punch
right?
him in the face?
And I knew I couldn't make it to the house. So I grabbed Julie and I pull her. We have a tree there. And I pulled her, and we didn't even get to the tree. And this thing comes down, and he does this to our back. He just sweeps his wings on our back.
So
like
it's like
that.
if
And don't listen. And then he goes to fly up, and he hits the fucking tree.
Did he fall down?
He fucking fell right in the yard.
Fuck out of him?
right?
No, he fell and he hit the yard, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" That's what I said to this thing.
That's a typical Midwest.
Yes.
Out.
I said, "Are you okay?" And he looks at me, and I'm getting up now, guys.
So he's standing up. He's standing up.
And he sits here like this, and he crouches down, and he goes,
So if
he
any
goes
of you,
straight up,
if you,
straight up, like literally 100 miles an hour, 100 feet, 150 feet, straight up in the air.
so
Nothing like any animal that I've ever
So the
seen
only
fly.
the only way I can ever compare this to is if any of you guys have ever seen the National Geographics where there's like condors where they're like 8 feet wide and they just flap their wings like 3 or 4 times to get enough lift and then they just take off straight up.
This thing took off like a rocket
But
straight
it
up.
took off 5 times faster than any fucking bird could ever take.
Yeah. And I've told Josh this story 100 fucking times. And so when this happened, I turn around to Julie. I'm like, holy fuck. And I turn around, she's not there. She didn't stop. She ran right straight to the
You
house.
left him at the tree.
She ran straight for the fucking house.
She's right outside smoking a cigarette. Right?
Yeah, and
My
she's
mom
not.
right there.
My mom is standing outside right now and she's laughing because she knows she left him at the tree.
Yeah, and so when it was all done, I turned around, all these people that were running and screaming and running for their lives. There was one guy there. I don't know who he was, but he looked at me, he goes, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, I don't know. I do this shit all the time.
And that'll be in some other episodes because we're going to do quite a few episodes about this. I mean, one of the main reasons we got into paranormal podcasts is because there's some things that happened to us and we got interested in that. I remember my dad owned a bar called The Brick. And when I was a kid, he'd talk about like Coast to Coast AM when I was a kid. And like, oh, this person called in, blah, 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 blah. So we've always been kind of interested in that, like Ancient Aliens. We all watch that together and stuff. And, you know, there's just some weird stuff. The veil's a little thinner here. If you look,
veil is thinner here and up there.
Yeah. So, you know, if you keep your eyes out for something like that, I mean, you might see something. But you describe this as not necessarily something paranormal. You describe it as
So, Dad, do us a favor and tell us about the morning after.
No. We'll wait for that.
Okay.
So this guy that was on the ground, I don't want to call him a guy because he looked like a human being, but he was like 5 feet tall.
Leathery.
I figured he was 7 to 8 feet wide wingspan.
So 5 feet tall.
Almost.
He'll get there. But
I'm still growing.
But it was something physical. It was a critter. I tell everybody it was a critter because he touched me, and it's not like I'm gonna have a doll out and he's like he touched me here and there, but he touched my back.
God damn. Your back?
My back. He swooped when he come down.
Yeah.
He swooped and he touched Julie and I just like very gracefully off our back. And
just to let you know that he was there.
Yeah.
Was that his balls? Was
his
his balls or his wings?
I don't. I think it was hands. I don't know. Handy wings.
Little tiny chicken hand.
Little handy wings. But then you know the guy was I was being cocky. I was fucking yelling at him.
Well,
but he was being cocky. He dove at me. He was going like, "Oh, I'm gonna show off."
And then you
guys are checking each other.
And then he hit the fucking tree. And then he hit the ground. I was like, you know what? If I had my muskie net, I would have just fucking
got the little guy.
Yeah,
gotcha. Now you have to walk like me, motherfucker.
Exactly.
You can't fly.
You're on standard. You're on the same ground at that point.
How do you look so gray?
You need to get some more sun,
get
buddy.
a tan, buddy.
He's from Canada, like Jason.
So after you checked him, what happened after that? Tom, what happened after he couldn't fly? What happened?
No,
So
he sat there. Out. He sat there for. Where's Mom?
She's right there.
But
she's waving again.
And he sat there for. I want to call it a moment. He sat there for a moment, and he got his shit about him, and I was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Sorry, I bumped a bottle of Crown.
We're also drinking some Pecatonica beer too.
Fuck yeah.
I just gonna drink some or eat some pickle peanuts over there.
And some Corbel.
Who wants the last quail egg?
I'll take the last quail egg.
I didn't get one yet.
Or Josh can have
it.
It's a pickled quail egg.
Pickled quail egg from Andy Miller.
Woo!
All right.
Anywho.
That's a pretty good egg.
So it flew up. What the guy also saw, he's like, you know, what the fuck was that? Where did it go after that? It just kept fighting with the other one, or what happened then?
They went up and they were screeching and doing their fucking thing, and they flew around. They flew around till dark. It was like another hour before they were gone. The cops were driving around, making sure everybody was okay. And I was like, holy fuck. This will be on the national news tomorrow. That's what I said. I was like, this will be on the national news. I called my brother. I told him what happened. I was like, you got to turn on the fucking news tomorrow because this is huge. Next morning, I get up and I turn on Channel 12 and Rhinelander. And they, the first thing they said was, we're getting a lot of calls, some kind of giant bats, creatures were attacking the music on the river. And we talked to a professor at the University of Superior, and they said, well, it's probably some huge bats from up by Lake Superior. We're getting a lot of calls, and we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to let you know. So whether it started at 5 or 5:30, whatever, the next half-hour news cycle, not a fucking word.
So they squashed it.
6 o'clock, not a fucking word.
They squashed.
6:30, not a fucking word.
Yeah.
And when you're on Tomahawk, you know what they say?
Don't talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we brought that up before and we heard it again. You know, we all love ourselves. None of us here are going to commit suicide or anything like that. Epstein didn't hang himself either.
No,
There's some weird stuff out there.
there is.
And
So, I'm sorry, I'm just like doing some side research like Jason usually does. So the largest known bat is the giant golden crowned flying fox. And it is over 5 foot tall.
well, that's in Indonesia, right? Or the
Well,
Philippines, I thought.
it is native to yes, you're right, to the Philippines.
Does it have a
it's
human-like
not
face and
it's not-
legs? Human-like legs?
No, it looks like a bat.
Yeah.
It looks like a fruit bat. It's got the fox nose. So
This look-
there
this look
is
nothing
it
like
is
that.
known to be bats that big, but to not look.
But if you look it up, it's documented. We were in Tomahawk. We were the first ones to see it, and these critters that whole summer went down the side of Lake Michigan and ended up in Chicago.
Did it look like that?
No, that looks like a
Exactly.
bat.
Yep,
Exactly.
so-
exactly.
Yeah.
So I can back him up on this. There are a lot of news reports of large flying creatures that summer, and actually, this
And-
was a couple of years later. But if you remember from about a year and a half ago, there was a Summerfest sighting of large flying creatures matching the description that he has that showed up at Summerfest.
In Milwaukee?
Yeah, they showed up and people ran screaming from the concert.
Yeah. No,
And
Because
That-
like I said, they're all in the water.
Summerfest is right next to the water.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
right
the-
next to the water.
they always see them next to the water, and they always see them when there's like some kind of festival and there's a lot of things going on.
It's
I think these critters.
Or the government.
They're
Oh.
they're intelligent. I think the government,
Suppresses this.
exactly.
They either like people or they are attracted to crowds.
Clearly, they want people to know about them if they're showing up.
this
No, I don't
this
think
thing
they-
that came down. I was being a dickhead, and he came down and he basically said, "Hey, I
checked you.
see you," and he just wanted to say,
I'm here. Yeah.
"I'm here."
So there's
Yeah.
a mutual respect.
Yeah, but then the poor bastard hit the fucking tree.
Yeah, he didn't plan for that.
No, and it was so cool because I
Should give him a beer.
actually got to see him, 10 feet away, and he was on the ground.
And he got fucked up. Yeah.
No, it's like if you
And-
drift. It's like if you drift in a car around the corner and then you're all of a sudden you're in the ditch.
Because he smacked himself pretty good, and I was like, "Hey, are you all right?" That's what I said to him. "Are you okay?" And he just went woof, 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 straight up in the air again. I can't describe it anything different than what I saw.
So yeah, big man bat. So I know one of the other things people talk about too is like Mothman, right? Is
Well,
that
so can we talk about? So you said the news suppressed it. So
Yeah.
what happens locally up there? Did the people keep talking about it? Like the locals?
The people I know, they're like, "Yeah, it was what it was. I didn't see it like you did."
So people really didn't care that it didn't go out.
Here's
I
And
think
then the good. There's people I know that are like, just stop talking.
yeah, don't talk about it.
yeah. So there's
Why would you not talk about it? Who cares?
because it's
It's time to write my memoirs.
Yeah.
there's so Isaac, there are
this
regular-
podcast may never make it out. We might
There
all
are-
die tonight in this shed.
there are
No.
It'll be a neon light disaster.
There are regular sightings that never get reported because they're regular.
Tom, your ladies' sign is going to start on fire, and we're all going to die because of it.
The lady sign went out.
And that's going to be the cover up.
I think it won't be ladies that kill us.
It'll
It's going to be the government. Although your wife is outside
She's just staring at us through the window.
and she has a gun.
She's talking about us starting on fire. So
No, but seriously, I actually enjoyed that experience because there was a long time when nothing really paranormal or supernatural happened to me, and then that happened, and it was cool.
yeah, it's one of those things with paranormal stuff. Like people say stuff to me, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I don't really believe it. And then every once in a while something does come up. And the way you describe it's not like, oh, I saw a ghost, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's a pretty vivid description about something that, why would you make that up?
When he describes it as a very realistic creature, he doesn't
Right.
say it's like anything out of the norm, right? Like it's a very realistic creature.
Yeah.
It's not like
And the thing is, and all the listeners can go out there, they can look. There are sightings of similar creatures all up and down.
So this
Basically,
was what 6
20
years ago.
This would have been
Almost in the
2018,
thumbs up on
2019.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago.
There are
And
sightings. There are
that-
sightings of similar creatures all up and down Lake Michigan that whole year.
Yes. And they worked their way south. They went down to Chicago and they saw this same thing.
Phenomena.
But we saw 2 of them.
Right.
And seriously, the way they were fighting up in the sky, it was like fucking moving day, and they were like pissed.
I mean, so I guess you just heard the story. I mean, we'll go around and say what we think.
So I was just doing
Yeah,
a
Isaac.
fact checking thing. So I just AI did this, obviously. AI, which I don't know what the hell that is, but I just typed in
Artificial
Tomahawk,
insemination.
Yeah.
right? And it says, while there are no specific, well-established legends of prominent bat creatures solely tied to Tomahawk, there are in the region of Rhinelander, which is famous for the Hodag legend,
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a different critter.
which is sightings of Wisconsin man bat or similar large winged humanoids have also been reported in other parts of Wisconsin. So it's not
Sure.
like an out of the question thing.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
it's been reported throughout
So-
the years, and
so
this is
The thing,
par.
what I really think is, I think this is a
I didn't know that's what the Hodag was.
phenomenon.
Looks like
a man
pig.
bat.
I thought
A
the
big thing with the horns on his.
Yeah.
I thought the Hodag was just a party. I didn't know.
No, it's
No.
a big country
It's a
music
critter.
fest. Come on up.
country music,
Yeah, fucking the Hodag.
but the Eugene Shepherd in the late 19th century. Something about that.
We'll
reading
do
it.
another story about the Hodag, but
Yeah,
as far as man bats go, I guess we'll start with my dad. What do you think this thing was? What do you think about it? You
Holy
weren't drunk?
no, I actually, you know what? I'm fucking drunk tonight because that's
the rules.
how we roll.
Yep.
But
These are substantially larger than what you reported. The man bat is a cryptid part of Mothman or winged humanoid sightings across Wisconsin, especially around Lake Michigan shoreline, and
So exactly what we just talked about.
and
Well-
and the La Crosse area. Witnesses described
So
human-sized
by water.
human-sized
by water.
human-sized creatures with a human-like body, a large wingspan, up to 10 to 15 feet,
all right,
and
so
sometimes red glowing eyes.
never.
But
This dude had fucking normal eyes.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This happened. So for those of you, we might not have made it clear. This happened in broad daylight.
Hey,
This
you got
was-
another Pecatonica beer? I'd like to have.
Yes,
Hell
we
yeah.
have another.
Crack open
fine.
a
Tom,
cold
Pecatonica
muscalog.
Tom.
beer.
Tom, have you heard of the dingbat?
A
What's a
dingbat.
dingbat? You're a dingbat.
Right, that's what I thought. There's a dingbat that's just the same thing, but this one has short deer-like antlers,
Nope.
and it pesters hunters. So it's like the same kind of thing, but it's got antlers on it.
Oh.
So
All right.
Oh.
Wait, so how did dingbat become a thing?
Good. Segue me into the
no.
hunting story.
Yeah.
No, hunting stories.
that'll be a different episode.
All right.
Anyway, back to what we think. Dad, what do you think this thing is? I mean, obviously you think it's real.
No,
But-
I've had a lot of time. This happened like 6 years ago, and I've had a lot of time to think about it. I know it's real. I know it's
Well-
real. He or it touched us.
So close encounters by the fifth kind.
Is it fifth kind?
I think that's when it touches you.
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Yeah. And you know what?
What's fourth?
It wasn't. This thing wasn't a malevolent.
It wasn't
thing.
malicious. It was just a thing.
It was just a critter. And here's what I think it is, and you can believe me or not. I think it was stuck. It slipped in our dimension. It was a critter from Earth that slipped sideways, and they were lost. I think they were lost, and they weren't aggressive. Well, they were pissed at each other. I can tell that. But I really think it was a real being that slipped a dimension, and it was on our side for a while, and not just that night. And I don't know where they went. If they come here and they got lost and they got taken down by somebody, but I know they're real, and I think they're not from this world. They may be from this world, but
not from this time.
But they're
Not-
physical.
But
They're physical, biological.
Exactly. They're biological creatures.
Yep. So
What was it?
Isaac, you go. You want to say
that
something?
podcast we did a couple of ones ago,
About the Van Meter monster.
Van meter monster.
is that not the same thing?
It's
So that was
similar.
That was more pterodactyly, but it's an account from like the 1800s, right? So we don't have really good accounts.
So, but it's a very similar.
This one didn't have a coal lamp on its head.
But no, it's very similar. It's something that definitely could and did exist.
But that also came in a pair.
But it
too.
also came in
and
a
it
pair.
also made a loud noise like that too.
But it smelled bad.
The loudest, no smell. And this thing was the loudest thing. I can't explain how loud it was. You felt it in your body. It was so
like
loud. I in the house, when I was sitting there minding my own business on my lazy boy watching the news, I could hear it, but I could feel it. It was that loud.
All right.
I think the most interesting thing about the story, I mean, obviously, besides all of that, is,
Besides all of it,
is the fact that it was suppressed in the news.
Yeah.
Which is alarming.
So me. I knew I wasn't nuts. I might be nuts, but I knew I.
We'll talk about some other stories that you might think he's more crazy on, but this one, I mean,
or less.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff out there, and like I said before in another podcast, if you guys have a story, reach out. We're always open to have guests on. I know John Hummel, you're out there. You're just chomping at the bit to tell us some stories.
And give us a hug.
And give us a hug.
He gave me a hug.
He gave Josh a hug.
Fuck you.
But
Fuck you, Isaac.
Isaac, what do you think this thing is?
Well, I'm slightly moderately alarmed. This reminds me of an X-Files episode I seen where there's this bat guy in a chimney. Have you seen the X-Files?
I've seen that X-Files. I know the one you're talking about.
Do you remember the show The X-Files? Mulder and Scully?
Of course.
Do you remember the one with the bat guy?
I remember the chimney, but that was Santa Claus.
No, there was a bat. Santa Claus, is it real, Tom?
What? Hey, you're talking in front of my sons. Knock it at.
Shit.
Why am I writing all these letters?
So along with Santa Claus being real,
I've been such a good boy.
there was this bat guy in the chimney.
Yeah.
And it was like that. But he was really pale and he almost exactly what you described. But this was well before you seen it.
Yeah.
This was, oh my God, this had to be 20 years ago.
No, this was like over 30 years ago, probably for
X-Files 30 years ago.
Yeah, in the 90s.
But like you think they probably got this stuff from other stories, right? For the X-Files. They didn't just make it up.
So for all of our listeners out there, just let me throw this out there. Every X-Files story has a grain of truth at the bottom.
Well, that's where they come
from.
So
does every supernatural story.
Heck yeah.
Yes, it does.
So Isaac, do you think this is a real critter? What do you think this is?
Yeah, I'd like to. Now listen, Tom. Me knowing you, next time you run into something like this, shoot it. I know you're capable of doing that, and whatever the cops tell you, just shoot the fucker. Because I want to be there and I want to see it. Okay?
I like shooting things. While we're like a day or two before deer hunting here.
Yeah.
But I love shooting things, but this is something I did not want to shoot.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
You were in awe.
You bonded with it too.
When he hit the ground, we made eye contact, and I could see that.
Like, was it embarrassed? Like, you could tell he was embarrassed?
Yeah, it was intelligent. It wasn't like a critter.
You realized it was sentient. Like, it's like,
I don't think it was sent here. I think it was lost.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally get that.
All right. Tyler, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's a real critter. I don't know necessarily if it slipped through the void or what, but I think there's a lot of, cryptids and critters out there that either we don't know about or we are supposed to not know about because it goes against
the
narrative, right? Like, we are in Southwest Wisconsin, right by, Gratiot here, in the nicest bar I've ever been to.
This is the coolest bar in Southwest Wisconsin.
This is the nerve center of the Midwest.
And you will never be invited to this bar unless you're pretty cool.
And it's invitation only.
Oh, that too. But I mean, I think it's just a natural phenomenon that happens, and it goes against the narrative, like, giants and everything else, and it's just something that they can, sweep under the rug. Obviously, there's Mothman sightings all over the place. There's flying creature sightings all over the place too. Yep. And honestly, we didn't research into it, but where do gargoyles come from? Like the ones that they actually throw up on old cathedrals and stuff. Were those real critters? Right? Were those real things?
Let me research this and get back to you. Because Jason's not here.
Research, but Josh, I guess, what do you think about this?
So I'm kind of in line with Tyler on this one, and Dad. but I don't think this is something that slipped through. I really do think this is something that's always there. There are a lot of large flying creature sightings in Wisconsin along the lakes, as well as in Michigan and Minnesota. And unlike a lot of the ones we see in the South, where it's always like, oh, it's the Mothman, he always shows up during things that go bad.
This thing showed up in a good time.
Yeah. So I honestly do think this is just a natural, like the actual definition of a cryptid. I think this is an unidentified biological creature that is native to the areas that we live in. And depending on its intelligence, who knows? But it's clearly intelligent enough to gather around large gatherings, and there are things that do that naturally anyways. There's things that go around and show up around large groups.
Like
And
what?
There's a lot of things like fucking raccoons will show up when there's festivals because they know when there's festivals.
Cougars with white claws. I mean,
Cougars show up for White Claws.
Cougars do show up.
So-
Gorillas show up for bananas. Everybody knows.
Banana parties.
Gargoyles are only there. Their origins are to direct water.
hey,
It's a practice.
hey,
Hey, to direct
hey.
water.
Wisconsin River.
They're functioning water spouts.
Well, why make them look
Why
like that?
They
make
were
them look
came
like that?
to ward off evil. Their imagery is to represent pagan creatures, showing a new faith's willingness to incorporate old beliefs with a symbolize chaos and evil. Like this is outside the country.
So, I mean, but that's what we say now, but those old beliefs had to have come from somewhere, and is that somewhere some flying creature that someone saw, right? Could
Right.
be. But that's what we think. We're drinking Pecatonica beer. We're drinking some Corbel. We're about ready to go hunting in 2 days.
But
Isaac-
wait, Ty, I'm not done.
Oh, Isaac's not done?
The term gargoyle derives from the Old French gargoule,
Gargoyle.
which means throat. So,
Okay.
which
The fucker was going for my throat.
Right.
and he
No,
missed.
no. They were loud. That's what it is.
which in turns comes from the Latin gurgule, which means gullet. Gullet. So the word of garg is an
So like gargle.
onomatopoeia.
Gargle my nards.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, no, pick. Onomatopic. Where's that word? Right there.
That's
Onomatopoeia.
And
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
Poetic.
Representing the gurgling sound of water.
there you go.
That's a gargoyle.
So they're gurgling. I mean, either way, these are critters. That's what we think. We're drinking Pecatonica beer. We're drinking Corbel.
We're
drinking.
We're having Walmart Great Value.
we will split
yeah.
that watermelon sometime.
And we are going to split that
We
watermelon.
can't say who's eating the
We
watermelon.
can't say who's eating that
I
watermelon.
have a book about him on my
Tom,
coffee
we
table.
can't say who's eating it.
Nope.
But that
Wait, we
is
can
what
say
we
his name. What's his
think.
name?
That's what you think.
This is what you think.